Hi, so I want to go over a couple last things before we get down to business, building some machines here. So as you've seen, there's kind of a few things that you got to think about, organize, and do that, and this is just more of that. If you've got your machine already figured out, you got your layout done, you got everything ready to rock, and you've got it designed, you know exactly what parts you're going to use, that type of a thing, then feel free to skip through and move on to the next lesson for this and actually start building your cabinet and go ahead. But for now, what we want to do is make sure that you have a very clear and concise idea and design for your cabinet itself, for its size, its shape, what type of monitor you're going to be using, what kind of controls you're going to be using, what type of joysticks you're going to use, that type of a thing. The wiring and the internals isn't as necessary to need to know for that kind of thing, but you do need to know if you're going to have are you going to use an audio amp? Do you want that showing? Do you want to recess it into the front of your cabinet, that type of a thing? Do you want it to be able to be accessible through the top, through somewhere else? So you got to figure out where you're going to lay all these things out. So I'm going to give you a couple of good ideas on how to do that before you get started on everything, and then we're going to show you some examples on the way we kind of set ourselves up for success when we're building these machines and stuff. So what you're going to see in the video when we build all this stuff is we've done a quick layout. We're going to build a mini machine a couple different ways with a couple different techniques to show you how it all goes. You'll be able to translate and take away with those actual techniques and stuff and a larger scale to anything you want. So you can just adapt them to make them work for you. But we wanted to do it on a smaller scale, a little more intimate scale, just so that we can show you in its entirety how those techniques come together instead of some of the things I've seen that have been put together online and stuff. They're doing it from afar, they're rushing through stuff, they're doing this, they're doing that. Even though we will speed up parts of the videos, we will bring it down to a zoomed in kind of close version to show you everything that we can and everything that you need to know about that technique, where it came from, why we do it, what it does, that type of a thing. But what I'm going to show you here is just this quick little diagram. So this quick little diagram, this is actually a representative of a 4x8 sheet of MDF plywood, whatever you want to do. So we're actually going to build this machine. This is all the parts that we need to build a simple 2-player setup. This is going to be a little bit bigger than like an arcade 1-up. It's just for example. We're going to build it. We're going to build 2 different cabinets, and we're going to use 4 different techniques for not each cabinet, but 2 different techniques per cabinet. So 4 different techniques over 2 builds. We're going to use 2 separate types of material. We're going to use MDF and we're going to use plywood. There will be a 3rd technique that we will show you. That one will be kind of like a little race through on that one for a time lapse. That's the way we build them in-house, and we do them through the CNC without hand tools, that type of thing. Like we use hand tools to actually put it together, but all the pieces are pre-cut for us. So that it makes life a little easier. But we will show you how that goes together. So if you're looking at doing something on a multitude of machines, like an ongoing basis and stuff like that, you're going to want to aspire to something that's a little more automated, that type of a thing. But for one-offs, that type, and everything for building them at home in your living room or dining room or backyard, shed, garage, whatever, this is the setup that we're going to do for you. So as you can see, all the pieces are already lined up. Everything is all ready to go. We have our measurements in the back there, which we'll go through during the process. But as you can see on some of the 3D stuff that we're doing, we do a 3D rendering of the way we design this. Like the thought that goes into it is a lot more in-depth than you may think originally, that type of thing. So it starts off with the drawing. We want a certain height, we want a certain feel to it, we want a certain width. Then we design it all in 3D. So we'll use programs like SketchUp or ZBrush or that type of a thing, and we'll create everything 3D wise so that I know that all the pieces are going to fit properly. The size is going to be the way I want it to be. Structurally, it's going to be sound. You might not want to take it to that maximum, whatever. You might want to learn as you go, that type of a thing. We've done that, and then now I work backwards. So now I do and make sure that everything's 100% in tip-top before I go, because it's hard to with the experience and stuff that we have here, we can fix things on the fly, but you might not be able to repair something that you screw up during the process. The good news is that wood is fairly cheap, so you can always cut more, you can always get more. So yeah, fumbling through it a little bit and learning the hard way is sometimes the way we got to do it. But I just wanted to go over a quick overview on this stuff, and I'm hoping that you agree and that you'll jump on board with this and you'll have some serious thought into what's going on before you get heavy into this. So yeah, happy designing, happy layout. Decide on all your products first. Watch some of our other videos if you have to find out whether you're going with JAM or MAME, what type of buttons you're using. You need to know the size of the holes. You need to know if you're going to recess your joystick or put it on the thing. You need to know what monitor size you're going to have. So we have the width of this, all that stuff. All these questions come into play. So just make sure you give it some serious thought, and we can all move forward, and it'll all be faster and happier for all of us. So take care, good luck, happy building.